What's up, guys? This is a post commentary here. I did episode 2. I did a few episodes of Skyrim. Some of them didn't really work out. But I like the content in this one a little bit. I didn't feel like making a third, fourth episode. I feel like it would be too much of a gap. A lot happens in this episode, at least a decent amount, and there's a little bit more I want to fill you guys in about. So this is post commentary, but I'm going to be talking about the things I do in this episode. A lot of it is kind of failed attempts of things, but I guess it's just good because this is the first episode that will truly, at least to a little bit more of an extent, it'll show off some of the mods, because before you couldn't really tell as much, but hopefully in this video you'll be able to. Also, I updated my Hapag capture. I uninstalled and reinstalled it because the quality wasn't quite up to par, really, because I had to convert the MPEG2, I believe. Anyway, so basically what I did was, I'm going to explain it here. I had an HDPVR2. The problem was, sorry about that, interrupted yet again. Completely lost track of where I was, but I'm just going to keep going with, talking about the conversions here. Basically what happened on the old version of Hapag Capture was that it would output an MPEG2, but YouTube, or Vegas rather, does not support that, so I wouldn't be able to put in my intro, wouldn't be able to split up the clips, that kind of thing, things I need to do to edit the video. So what I ended up doing was, I would take that, and then I would convert it to AVI or MP4, and then I would output Vegas in MP4, which would mean that it would render a total of 3 times. The first time when I was using the HDPVR, the second time when I convert it using Format Factory, and so that it would work in Vegas, and third time is when I use it in Vegas. Between those 3 conversions, the quality went down quite a bit, so I'm skipping an entire step because now the HDPVR is rendering in MP4 straight up, which is really good actually, because now it should go into Vegas just fine. So hopefully that won't be a problem, but that's just as of right now. So I'm sorry if this video seems a little rushed. It kind of was, just because I'm running on limited time here. I keep getting interrupted, that kind of thing, but I do love doing this, so I try to make it work. Right now I'm traveling to my woodland home here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I have the first story done. I built the foundation, and then I built the first story. I think I have some of the materials for the second story. I think I actually do have enough materials for the second story, but the second story isn't really my concern right now. First story is completed, but there's nothing really inside it besides a fireplace and a bed mat, which I used in one of the mods. So technically, it's really only supposed to have a fireplace, but I don't really have any food. I don't have a kitchen, no furniture, no cool looking stuff. And what's cool about the furniture thing that they put into this mod is that it can be accustomed to kind of fit the description of your character. It makes it very, very immersive. I like it a lot. It kind of fits your character's description rather than a normal home. Let's say if you were an assassin, then you can have an assassin theme. If you're a mage, mage theme, warrior, warrior theme, and so on. I was kind of debating between which ones to pick. So yeah, here's my house, and sorry for the little choppy thing here. I think this is a result of the whole HD PVR screw up thing, and I ended up fixing that, I think, so hopefully that won't be an issue anymore. But anyway, you can see the quality here is pretty good. The house looks good. It's just very empty. So, about the themes, I was deciding between I was deciding between the thief one, the assassin one, and I think the warrior one. I'm not really much of a warrior, but the warrior theme does look cool, so I was debating that. I don't think I picked the Dark Brotherhood theme because I always assumed that it would be a little bit too dark and depressed for me. Kind of like the Dark Brotherhood lair itself, which is just kind of, it's not that I don't like it, it's just not really my description right now. Right now I'm more of a hunter, gatherer, almost, but not quite, because I am building a house. But as you can see, right now I'm going into the woods. I'm trying to find, I believe, a horse hide so that I can build this furniture. And I think it's right around this time that I encounter a few bandits, and that takes about 5 or 6 minutes off of the gameplay. Not necessarily difficult so much as it's just, it is difficult because it's on high difficulty, but the AI isn't very good. It's not really, the AI is very easy to fool, but still somewhat of a challenge when there are 4 of them, so it took me a little bit of time. So that's really that. I don't remember exactly what I'm doing at this point. I might be checking to see what mats I need for the furniture. I don't quite remember at this point, but anyway, so that's that. And I guess I'm inspecting some iron ore for whatever reason. Let's see here. So I guess I'm going to use the wood block, but then a bandit comes up, and the dialogue thing made me realize, I guess I hadn't noticed it until then. See, looking at the video, it's very easy to see the little red dot. Sometimes you just don't pick up on things. There are things that you'll mention this in my WoW Let's Play. There are things that you just don't really pick up while you're playing the game because you're kind of focused on the center of the screen. But when you're watching a video, you kind of are a little more relaxed and you have the time to kind of look around and see what's up. And it's much, much, much easier to see the things around you and things affecting you, that kind of thing. I notice that when I'm watching videos, like, even by other guys, like, they'll miss things and I'll say, oh, he's right there. But I'm sure that if I was playing the game, I probably wouldn't notice it, or if I did, it wouldn't be as quick as I would have if I was just watching a video. So, whoops, some unknown stranger person calling me on my phone. I have Do Not Disturb on, so I don't know why it notified me about that. But anyway, I guess that's a setting on my phone. But anyway, so I guess this is just the first bandit. He kind of takes a good amount of health off of me, but it's not overall that really that difficult. I'm able to kill him. It's the second, third, and fourth that kind of got me concerned because they had bows and other weapons and that kind of thing. So the only real problem, especially with the AI here, is or with when I'm talking about like NPCs that spawn. The only thing that's really hard to kill, mages. Mages are a real bitch sometimes. I'm not gonna lie about that. They are very, very annoying, especially if you're like a more squishy kind of character, like the character that I have. But even then, magic damage is really a bitch, and armor doesn't always help it that much, so that's the biggest problem. But right now, I have things, believe I have it set at Master difficulty right now, so it's not the easiest thing. I don't have it on Legendary, but Master difficulty is pretty challenging. Anyway, I think that, yeah, this is around the time that I don't think the rest of them see me, so I check to see what's up. And I guess I'm not going to give it away, but what am I doing in the settings here? I guess I'm turning up the sound? I don't know. I mean, now I know, but I don't know why. Alright, well, anyway. I do like the in-game music, though. It does add a new element to it. So I guess I'm not really being suspected as of right now. And do I blow my cover? Nope. I'm looking. And I went a little bit too far forward, and what happened? Nothing. Okay, good. I guess it's this point that I get out my bow, and I think that I can kill them. So, even though I don't know where they are or anything like that, so I'm kind of just winging it here. So I'm looking for some enemies. My sneak skill's increasing. That's one really good thing about fighting enemies like this, at least from far away. Your sneak skill goes up a ton. Like, sneak is very easy to bring up. If you're in a hostile area and you're hidden, and you just move around, and you kind of like poke around the enemies or do something like that where you just shoot and then back up, which I actually get caught here because of that. But if you do stuff like that and you just kind of get them to move around and be suspicious, that brings up your sneak a whole lot. And sneak is actually one of the easier things to build up in this game. That with your block and heavy armor, light armor, as long as you have sufficient healing, it's really easy to bring up skills like that because it's a very monotonous thing. It's literally just getting attacked and letting your skill go up as a result of that, or attacking someone and getting your skill up as a result of that. I find that the hardest thing to really bring up in terms of skill is pickpocket. I think it's pickpocket. Yeah. Lockpicking is fairly intuitive. I mean, you can kind of just find lockboxes all around Skyrim. Like, it's easy to kind of just get good at it and just bring up your skill. One of the harder things to do, though, is definitely pickpocketing. Because even when you do pickpocket, which doesn't have a very high success rate, you can't really bring up the skills that much. Like, I remember I pickpocketed a bunch of guys, and my skills never really went up above 20-something, so I don't know if it was me or if I was doing something wrong. Maybe you build it up a different way, I don't know, but pickpocket's not that important anyway, really. One of the more minor skills in this game, in my opinion. Not to say that people don't use it, it's just that it's not really as important, because anything that I would really need from someone, I could just kill them and take it, unless if they were like a main guy that I need to not kill. It sounds kind of bad, but whatever. So I guess at this point it's a little dark. It's kind of hard to see exactly where guys are and whether or not I'll hit them. So I'm kind of just taking shots here, trying to fight off these guys. And it works pretty well. It was kind of a glitch, and that's why I got off. I try not to go on it too much because I don't like to exploit the game like that. I like to keep things pretty realistic. And it was at that point that I actually screamed because I did not see him there. I mean, I kind of knew he was in that region, but he hadn't left, so I figured maybe he got bugged or something. But nope, he was right there waiting for me. And they see what I mean by AI, though? Like, they got stuck under the thing. I guess because it's not originally in the game. But even when they went in the water, they kind of just stood on the rock, stood there for like a good second or two, and then decided to turn around and run at me, which gave me more than enough time to get away and kind of just shoot at them and kill two of them. And then now here goes the third one right about... I guess I decided to loot them first. I already looted this guy though, so... See, it's the things like when I'm watching the video, I notice like I shouldn't have looted him twice. It was the other guy that I didn't loot. You can tell because he has arrows in him, which usually you can pick up. See, I just looted him a third time. So, I guess I'm kind of silly looking back on it, but that's alright. I guess we all make mistakes. Here we are. You know, I don't know if I ever actually looted that third guy in the very back. I think I might have to go onto my character after I do this and loot him for whatever he's got. But it's probably not really that important anyway, so, you know. Oh, I came to a decision about the whole fast travel thing. I remember in the first episode, I mentioned that I don't want to just do fast travel back and forth all the time because I feel like I kind of want to keep things a little more realistic here. But I don't want to get on a horse because horses, although they are kind of good to have, they're not really the fastest thing. So I decided to do a mix of a couple of things. I decided that I would be able to, like, this was the limitation, these were the limitations that I set for my character and for this Let's Play. I'm not going to be doing fast traveling. However, I'm going to configure my horse mod so that my horse travels about 15% faster than he normally would, so that it's almost like a hustle rather than just kind of trotting around whenever you're not sprinting. So that's good. So he'll go 15% doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually quite a bit faster. But second, and the most important thing here is that I'm going to be using the carriage system. So like, I think it's called that, where you can pay the guy and you get onto the carriage or the prairie or whatever, and then it takes you wherever you need to go on the horse. And it kind of fast travels you there, but you have to go to a main city to do it. So I figure that's a good ground for me because then at least I can go from major city to major city without fast traveling exactly from region to region. Kind of just gives it a more like, it just makes the world seem a little bigger. I feel like the world size, like the grand size of the world kind of gets unappreciated when you don't add that element of traveling as much. And it kind of kills the need for any horse. Like if you explore a lot, you don't really need a horse. And I kind of like having the horse. I like the whole, like all the elements of using a horse. It kind of makes the game feel a little bit more, you know, it just makes it a little bit more fun, I guess. So that's just me. I know some people will disagree with me and say that that the fast travel system doesn't make a difference, that the game seems just as good. And that might be true. I mean, you know, if you're going from different regions, you know, from region to region, you're traveling up to a bunch of different areas to do different quests. I guess the world would still seem pretty big. But when you travel from one place to another, it kind of just gives it a feel of like them all being interconnected, intertwined. It makes it feel like one big world, which really that's what this game is. I love open world games, and I like going through the world, especially with graphics mods like this. The game's really beautiful, and I like to experience that firsthand rather than cutting across it. I kind of like to take the time to appreciate all the hard work that the developers put in, that the modders put in, and that I guess I didn't put in that much effort installing mods, but whatever, you know, I like to appreciate the game too, just for what it is even. So I like it a lot. I guess those last couple sentences didn't really make much sense, but you know what I mean. I do like this game a lot, and I like to watch the natural looking aspects of it, I guess. Anyway, the only problem I have with this PVR right now is that it's not really recording with the same, like that choppiness there. It doesn't happen all that often, but it happens a little too often. If it was once or twice for a video, then whatever, I wouldn't care. But it's a little more consistent. Like there'll be times where it happens a few times in a minute, and then it won't happen for 10 minutes, but then it'll happen again. I don't want it to be consistent like I don't want it to be inconsistent like that, rather, or I don't want there to be consistent problems for what is seemingly no reason. Now I'm hoping now that I updated the I updated the software or whatever for my HD PVR, like the capture software. I'm hoping they fix that bug. Maybe it was just an installment problem. Whatever the case may be, I installed new drivers, so hopefully something just went screwed up, and that's not really prevalent now. But anyway, I have a problem with this. Even when I'm doing the Let's Play, like before when I was traveling, like I was doing a live commentary, but it kind of got all messed up because it was the first time I had used this certain microphone with the PVR. For some reason, the sound, like I sounded like one of those Alvin and the Chipmunk characters. My voice was extremely high, and it's not like I could just go back and lower it because it was going from high to low all the time. I guess it was because I didn't have enough system resources, so it cut back. I think that's what it's a result of, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was too much strain on the PVR. Maybe it needs to cool off. I'm not really sure. I put it next to a fan, so hopefully that helped. To be honest, I really don't know. I tried looking up the problem. There wasn't really any consistent answer. Actually, there weren't really a lot of people having my problem, because most people, because my processor isn't all that powerful, I like to use my PVR to do the recording so that I don't have to put the strain on my processor and reduce my frame rate. I like to keep the frame rate as high as it can be so that you guys can see how my PC will really perform with these kinds of mods, and so that I don't have to lower the settings. And although it does put a little bit more strain, like even though it's all rendered in the PVR, the PC still has to run the capture software, so it is still technically running, which is like essentially a 1080p video while you're playing a game. So, although it doesn't do the rendering, it's still displaying the render, and I think it's maybe a little more than that because the program's running too, and it's outputting into the computer. I think it does reduce my frames by some, but I don't think it's nearly as much as if I were to use Fraps. And on top of it, Fraps is the program that I would normally use to record my screen. It uses a whole lot of memory. I'm talking like 200 gigabytes for one video even, which sounds crazy, but if you're rendering something at 1080p, 30 frames, or more like 60 frames or even 30 frames per second, if you have a 40-minute video, you could easily have upwards towards 100 gigs. If you have 60 frames per second, then you could have 200 gigs of memory just in one half-hour to 40-minute video. It's crazy, especially when you combine high-quality audio and when you're recording your voice. It's a nightmare, man. So I'm just trying to keep it on the PVR, because the PVR, I guess it compresses it, and so it's not quite, or it's not, maybe it's, yeah, I think it's compressed, so it's more like a gigabyte maybe for like 30 minutes, which isn't bad. I think this whole thing was like 1.4 gigabytes, like this whole 30-minute video on PVR, so that's pretty good. Kind of been talking about my videos a lot, like the video quality and stuff, but I'm still new to this whole thing. Like I didn't used to ever do this. I didn't ever used to do live video commentaries, so I'm kind of talking about that a little more than I would the game. It's just I'm trying to get settled down here and figure out exactly what I'm doing, because when I went from World of Warcraft over to Skyrim, things got messed up because Skyrim is a much more demanding game. So I guess when I ran that with the PVR, either my PC couldn't keep up or my PVR couldn't keep up, and sometimes the video gets a little bit it kind of has a little bit of a heart attack, as you can see, when it gets all choppy. Anyway, it's weird, though, because I don't actually see that in the game, so I know that it's the PVR that's having the problem, or my PC running the PVR that's having the problem, but something's not right. So hopefully I fixed it. I guess we'll figure it out next time I make a video. So here I am. I'm on my way to find a horse hide. That's where I've been traveling this whole time. I should have clarified that before. I think I mentioned it, but I didn't really make it very known. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to get a horse hide. Now, prior to this video, there it is again, I did not know that horse hides were only a 1 in 3 drop. So I figured I could just go to one of the Stormcloak camps, because I'm not really sided with either. And I know that your reputation gets wiped at a certain point in the game, and then you can restart. So I figured, okay, whatever. If I piss off a few Stormcloaks, it's not like I can't still side with them later. So I was trying to steal one of their horses, and that's what you're going to see here. But I do have difficulty, because it's kind of a bitch. And that's kind of the whole problem. It turns out when you have things on master difficulty, it doesn't really matter if you shoot the horse from behind with a sneak attack. Horses have a hell of a lot of health, a lot more than I thought. I'm used to my level 79 character where I can go and attack a horse and kill it in one swing. On my like uber good character that I spent a lot of time on, but also spent a lot of time cheating. I don't want to say cheating on, but cheating with, or you know, I kind of took some shortcuts. I will admit that, but I'm trying to keep it real here. For this character, I'm trying to make the best character I can make it. So there I was. I ran into a giant camp, which is right near the Stormcloak camp, so I kind of mixed them up. I wasn't sure exactly where it was because I hadn't discovered it yet, but I remember that it existed, so I'm just looking around the region right now, kind of just exploring a little bit. Now, it doesn't seem like a whole lot's happening in this episode, and perhaps not a whole lot did happen in terms of what I achieved or what I retrieved. But it's still, I still combined a lot of things. Like I was still kind of showing you guys what my series was about, showing you how my series or how mods will differ from generic gaming. I mean, gameplay of this. Like if I were to play on PC, you couldn't see, the homemade house or certain elements. I'm not sure if you can even attack on a horse in normal. I don't know if you can. So this guy isn't a thug here. I thought at first that he was a bandit because I wasn't sure if it was a bandit camp or a Stormcloak camp. Knowing that it's a Stormcloak, I knew it would be a little harder. So that's where I am now. I'm looking around, just seeing how many there are. Kind of just trying to find some horses. I found one here, and I think there's another one, but when I shoot them, that's where I get into the complication. I didn't realize how much health the horse had, and I ended up spending a lot of time trying to kill the horse, which was not smart because little did I know, and you'll see this later, horses don't have a high drop rate for those hides. It's like I said, it's like 1 in 3. So, and I wasn't even able to kill that guy. But even after I finished this episode and I did kill a horse, I killed my own horse, and I was like, the hell is this? Why didn't he drop a hide? And I reloaded it, and I did it again, and it still didn't drop. And then I looked it up. I'm like, wait a second. Does it always drop a hide? I don't think so. Unless if you got to hide some other way. And of course, yeah, here I am trying to kill the horse like an idiot. God, I wasted so much time here. But no turning back now. Maybe I'll just skip it, but I think I'll keep it in. Anyway. Little did I know that you could go to a merchant and get horse hides. I actually went to one in Riverwood, but I didn't see horse hides, so I figured, oh, well, I guess I'll just have to kill a horse. So when I killed the horse and saw that I couldn't get the hide, I was like, okay, well, this sucks. So I looked it up on the Skyrim wiki. Turns out it's 1 in 3, but most merchants, like normal merchants, traveling merchants, merchants in towns, will sell horse hides. And so, knowing that, I found a traveling salesman, which I believe is a part of another mod. I don't think there are a lot of traveling salesmen normally, except for like hunters and stuff. There are a few, but I got some. I think the mods added some more merchants traveling around Skyrim with some mercenaries, which made the whole thing again more immersive, and it seemed like everything was interconnected. It's just kind of more me. I like it. It made it much. It makes the whole experience more grand. It makes it feel like you're in feudal Europe almost. But anyway, that's pretty much that. So I went to that merchant and saved my game. I asked him what he had, and there were 4 horse hides, and you'll see that in a bit. And I guess I kind of just spoiled it, but I don't really care. I spent the entire episode trying to get this freaking horse to die, so he kept following me around. First he ran away, then he decided to attack me. Now I'm running away from him, but he's still following me. This motherfucker won't leave. So I spent the next 10 minutes trying to figure out, okay, this guy has more health than I can even, like, take out. Even if I were to take out all of his health, he would replenish it quicker than I could even take it out at all. And for some reason, my horse doesn't defend me in fights, even though it's supposed to. Maybe that's part of the mod, I don't know. But my horse didn't help me, so I was like, all right, maybe I can melee this guy or melee. I always say that word wrong, but I have since I was a kid and I was played WoW. I said melee. I think it's melee. Whatever. I can't use my one-handed sword, so that didn't work. I figured, okay, bow isn't working. Maybe I'll try sword, but it didn't really work out. So here I am trying to be a hero, and I'm thinking, all right, so I'm determined here. I'm going to kill this horse as long as it takes. It doesn't work. Honestly, I'm very, very underpowered at this level. I'm very, I make very nominal, like, I don't want to say nominal, it's not really the right word. I can only kill petty things, though. I can't really kill dragons or anything grand at this point. My character is leveling his skills pretty quickly, given the circumstances that I set for myself. But even with, like, the mods and stuff, and Hunterborn and whatever, as fun as it is, my character is pretty weak right now, even with the armor that I got from the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood. So I guess it was at this point that I noticed that the horse had replenished all the health that I had taken out. So I was like, all right, crap, I'm losing health way faster than this guy is. So I stood around this coast. I kind of tried to play with him a little bit. I couldn't really figure anything out. So what did I do? I believe I tried to go down to the shore. What do I do here? Oh, I guess I'm getting a health potion. Anyway. I think I'm trying to attract a saber cat to attack the horse, but I couldn't find one. I remember that down at the shore there was a saber cat, but I don't think it was quite as close as I thought it was. And either way, it probably would have ended up attacking me before it attacked the horse. So, you know, it's just kind of a rookie mistake. But Alright, so here I am. I guess I think, oh yeah, if I go on foot, then I'll be able to get more attacks, and maybe I can kill the horse. That doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Let's see, what am I doing in the settings? Am I saving my game for in case I die? I don't even know. Yeah. And now, my horse looked like he was about to attack. Oh, okay, yeah, I completely forgot about that Stormcloak. So now I'm running. Of course, my horse doesn't help me whatsoever. And here's what I'm trying to do. I'm going in, I'm trying to look at the settings for my horse so that I can change it, but I realized that I didn't load it with Sky UI and Skyrim script extender and stuff the way I should have. It didn't load. So I couldn't change my horse settings to have it fight with me. It was stuck on passive, or cowardly, as they call it, and he didn't do anything, so he just kind of stood around and watched me die. Well, here I am, about to die, and I think I survive. I don't think it kills me. I think I have just enough time to get away, or just enough like health because of the potions and the bread that I eat and stuff. So that's always good. That's always good to have. And I think, yep, here it is. I take the potion of invisibility, and what do you know? Once I sneak, I get away. Invisibility potion is a good thing to have, and it's for reasons like that. Invisibility, especially invisibility, that's the kind of thing that would make me more inclined to use illusion magic. I said this character wouldn't be magic oriented, really, but I think that using illusion magic, and I'm thinking it more and more now, especially with the way that invisibility worked, looking back on it, I think it would help me a lot if I brought up my illusion, even if it was just for the purpose of using invisibility potions, because that just saved my ass, even though I just tried to attack him again like an idiot. Honestly, I think I was just kind of screwing around because I didn't really, I really needed a horse hide, because that was kind of the whole motive of the episode. The motive of this episode, I was trying to get my furniture done. That's kind of what it was. And you couldn't just use normal leather. You had to use deer hides. So I'm like, all right, crap, horse hides. Horse hides. I meant to say, not deer hides. What am I saying? Horse hides. I'm wondering how the hell he got there. So I'm trying to figure out a way to kill this horse. And it just isn't working. But the reason that I kept trying to kill this guy, not so much because I was an idiot. I mean, partially because I was kind of goofing off and being an idiot. I guess I had better justification while I was making the video. Looking back on it, I realized that there's no justification. Aside from the fact that, like I said, it was the entire episode's motive. If it didn't work, then I wouldn't really have much to do for the episode about it. I would have had to change my whole game plan. I would have had to do something else. And I don't like to do that, because I like to have things organized, worked out, so I know exactly what I'm doing in an episode. So you guys know that what I'm going to be doing in an episode, so you guys have something to, I guess, look forward to, or so you guys can skip episodes if one sounds like it's not really your speed or something you want to listen to. So here I am, horse is attacking me just as I'm getting on. I think I just get away despite him humping me there. So there I am, and I think I just got away, and I played with him for a few more minutes until I realized, okay, this is pointless. Let's save my game. I'm saving my game here now. And it didn't really work. So what am I going to do here? I think after this video, I made a second clip of me buying horse hides to show you guys that sometimes it's just more practical to look around the markets and to try to do things yourself, especially at low levels. So I might have incorporated that in. And I believe it was right here that my brother came into my room. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to skip that, and we're going to go back to when I resumed playing. So hold on 1 second. And we're back here. So sorry about that. I got interrupted, like I said before. Here I am getting chased by the horse. The guy just doesn't seem to go in. I think it's at this point I'm like, all right, maybe I should just die, because there's no getting away from this. But then I realized that if I loaded it back up, then I'd kind of just be back where I was. So I'm thinking to myself, how the hell am I going to get this horse off of me? Maybe I can kill it when it's kind of not going to go past a certain point. So I think he's standing me down, basically saying, if you move, I'm going to kill you. He's kind of just standing in the middle there. It's actually kind of funny, almost like a standoff. It's weird. I've actually never seen anything like that before. Also, I was looking back on the beginning of that video, the video that I just made, like the video that I'm making right now. I was looking in the beginning clips of it. Sorry, I was kind of out of breath in the beginning. That's why everything sounded so kind of like shaky, and my sound went up and down. I was breathing a lot too. I made a lot of sounds. It's just because I was out of breath. I just run upstairs. I really wanted to make a video, and I didn't want to wait to, I guess, breathe. So that's kind of where that was at that. That's why that happened. So here I am, running, jumping, kind of just, again, effing around like usual. And I promise I won't be doing that in any more videos. can't really say that, I guess, because I'm probably going to be goofing off a little bit, but I think that the videos I'll be making from now on will be a little bit more concise and they'll have a little bit more in them. So normally I wouldn't upload a video like this, but I feel like I did kind of go through a lot of things that I should have gone through for you guys, because I feel like you guys deserve to know what my series is about. And also, here's me looking at the illusion again. I believe it was here that I kind of read the invisibility thing, and it caught my eye, and I was like, okay, maybe I should use that. But anyway, just a thought there. I'm not even necessarily going to be using that, but I did feel like I kind of went through a lot of important things in this video, especially just for where I'm going to be going as far as episodes in the future, which I think is just as important as the present. You know, if you say things that you plan on improving in your videos or things that you're going to be doing in the future, just to kind of say what your series is about, that's kind of like that's not half of it, but it's a good portion. It's just knowing what you're doing with your series, and I think I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. Not necessarily saying I have the whole thing planned out, but there are some aspirations that I have for the series, things that I want to do, mods that I want to get, or mods that I already have and want to use, etc. So that's kind of, it's a little vague what I just said. Like, I'm not going to take an entire episode to explain where my series is going, because frankly, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. But I do have some things that I definitely are like on my bucket list for this series, so to speak. So I am trudging through the woods again. I believe this was before I turned up my horse speed, which, God, just making it even a little faster makes it so much more epic as an experience. Like, you're faster than other horses, and you just kind of feel a little bit more epic, which I guess is kind of playing with reality a little bit. But at this point, I'm not even fast traveling, so who cares? I'm allowed to be a little bit unrealistic. Let's just say I have a horse who's physically fit, right? So, come to think of it, that actually kind of is realistic, because normally horses would just kind of run away from things on occasion, but if I'm riding a horse and he's constantly being exerted by running and sprinting, he would be in better shape. So I guess my horse kind of has every right to be faster than the other ones. And it's not really that dramatic. It's only like 10-15%, so I like it. I think it's actually, come to think of it, I think it's more realistic. So that's good. That's good. So here I'm at my house. Another thing I absolutely love about this mod is that it's a waypoint on the marker. From before you even discover it, you don't have to look around, figure out where it went. You don't have to look in the description even to find out the exact coordinates. No, it tells you right in the description that it is a marker on your map as soon as you download the mod, even if you haven't discovered it. You do have to travel there, though. You can't fast travel until you've been there, obviously, but it does show up as a point that you haven't discovered yet, which was very good for me, because I didn't have to go through the whole troublesome process of trying to find out exactly where it was. So that's always good. But here I am looking through my steel ingots, finding out exactly what I have. I'm collecting things. I'm thinking, all right, so I didn't get the horse hides, so what can I make? And I believe that I kind of debate making a second story. I don't think I do. Maybe I do. Maybe I do make a second story. I don't remember if I even have it. There goes the flickering again. It's a little worse than flickering, but I think I do just end up biting the bullet and making it. But I do know that I have my furniture in my house now, so for sure I did do it. So maybe I'll put that in the video as well, kind of just showing you exactly what the home edition encompasses when they're talking about furniture and stuff. So let's take a moment here and see if I do buy the second story. I'm not really sure if I do. Yeah. Yep, I made a second story. Another thing I love about the mod, it's just a bunch of little things that kind of add up. It doesn't seem like it would make a difference, but it kind of does to me. It kind of skips through time because it's realistic in that it shows how much time it took you to build that story. Like, it takes a certain amount of time. It's realistic. And why am I about to loot him? I already killed him 4 times. By killed him 4 times, I mean looted him 4 times, but Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot sometimes, I swear. Anyway, so I guess now I'm going to the top of the hill so that I can look at it from an overhead view, or maybe I can just run around and do whatever. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of, I think the video actually ends here. I'm not quite sure. Let's see here. How much time do I got? Oh, I've got like a minute. All right, yeah, so I think this is where I kind of concluded things. So I think I'll do the same right now. Actually, not quite yet, because I do want to show you guys the other stuff that I did. And here we are. So I'm kind of just walking towards the bench. I went and I got the hides. I decided just to kind of skip across that, and here I am saving my game just to do the first theme that came into my mind. So let's see, we're going to go to furnishings, first story, and we're going to pick a thief because my character is indeed a thief. So it took X amount of hours to do that, which is something that's really cool if I haven't shown that to you before. I believe I did previously in this video, but it takes X amount of time to kind of just create the extra additions. So here we go inside the house. Rather than it being completely empty like it was before, now it's filled with stuff as if a thief had put everything in here. So I could put stuff in the display case, weapon rack, stuff that I would have, I guess, stolen, filled with this furnishing stuff, ingots, etc. Mannequins, still haven't placed that with armor, so definitely not done here. Definitely some more stuff to do, but as of right now, that's pretty much it. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.